Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Tang Dynasty. The Most Disgusting County Magistrate, starting with Imperial Complaint against Li Er Xu Wuyou, traveled through the Tang Dynasty and became a county magistrate of Liuye County. He is naturally timid and promiscuous, afraid that his subordinates will embezzle and implicate him. Only a county official who has been greedy for 3 taels of silver can be stripped of his skin, and then filled with hay and hung in the court. I am afraid that the imperial envoy will thoroughly investigate and wrongly accuse me. We can only kill the old imperial envoy who wants to bribe us, peel off his skin, fill him with hay, and hang him in court. Li Er was furious and then sent Qin. Xu Wuyou, who was already very timid, became even more afraid and could only continue to kill. Disaster descended from heaven, with no harvest of crops, and the court's relief grain had not arrived for a long time. In order to prevent uprisings among the people, Xu Wuyou directly submitted a letter of guilt to the court, accusing the current emperor and directly condemning Li Shimin. At the moment when the Book of Sin was read out in the morning court, everyone was confused. Changsun Wuji, Fang Xuanling, and others accompanied Li Er and headed straight to Liuye County, hoping to see which county magistrate dared to bring down the crime to the righteous Li Shimin. Quickly, Li Er arrived with his courtiers, and at first glance, he saw rows after rows of grass figures hanging in the Liuye County Hall. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. I am a county magistrate, unable to abide by the law. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Liuye County, County Government. Master, with the disaster situation becoming increasingly severe and refugees everywhere, what should we do? The master looked at the young man ahead with a worried expression on his face. The young man's name is Xu Wuyou, and he is the magistrate of Liuye County. What about the grain issued by the court? Xu Wuyou asked. This year, there have been constant disasters within the territory of the Tang Dynasty, and the court is unable to take care of our Liuye County. Master smiled bitterly and shook his head. Your Majesty is the ruler of the sages, and there is no reason to let disaster situations go unchecked. In his words, Xu Wuyou also felt somewhat helpless. A few months ago, he unexpectedly traveled to the ancient Tang Dynasty and became the county magistrate of Liuye County. He just wants to lay it up in place and enjoy a peaceful life. The situation in the Tang Dynasty suddenly changed, and the disaster was rampant. Liuye County is plagued by continuous droughts, with rivers and wells drying up and people's farmland without any harvest. Xu Wuyou had no choice but to use his knowledge from his past life to lead the county residents in searching for water sources. Nowadays, while water sources have been solved, food has become a thorny issue. To solve the problem of food and clothing for the people, he has submitted no less than 20 memorials in a row. However, the memorial is gone and never returned, with no trace of it. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully activating the super complaint system and obtaining a beginner gift pack *1. Suddenly, a mechanical voice rang out from Xu Wuyou's mind. My golden finger has finally arrived. Xu Wuyou was overjoyed. For months, he has been fishing and waiting for his golden finger. How can one lose the essential skills of a time-traveling expert? Now, what he needs to do is understand the functions of the system. System, please introduce your specific functions. Ding. This system can sue anyone, from the heavenly sky emperor to the common people. Ding. Warm reminder. If the host successfully sues, they will receive a certain reward. I see, then the county magistrate is going to sue the current emperor, Li Shimin. When the disaster first appeared earlier, he presented a memorial to the court, hoping that it would work to resolve it. However, even if the people were displaced and starved to death on the streets, the court had no response. Xu Wuyou was filled with anger. Later, he took a pen and paper and wrote a memorial. After a moment, Xu Wuyou sorted out the memorial and handed it to the master. Master, hurry up and deliver it to the court. Master. After the master accepted it, he hesitated and said. Previously, I submitted no less than 20 memorials in Liuye County, but the outcome in Chang'an may still be as before. No problem. You can just deliver it. Xu Wuyou believes that the emperor will definitely receive his memorial this time. So, I set off immediately. After the master left, Xu Wuyou patted his head. I actually forgot about the beginner gift package. System, open the beginner's gift package. Su Wuxin silently recited with concern. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the beginner gift pack and receiving the following rewards. Sweet potatoes, 10,000 pounds, corn, 10,000 pounds, and potatoes, 10,000 pounds, what? Xu Wuyou's eyes widened and he was shocked by the boldness of the system. Nowadays, there are continuous droughts in Liuye County, and this move by the system is undoubtedly a timely help. Especially sweet potatoes, their characteristics are drought-resistant. If it can be popularized in Liuye County, drought can be eradicated in the future. Thinking of this, Xu Wuyou exclaimed excitedly. System, retrieve grain. Accompanied by a flash of light, the hall was filled with sweet potatoes, corn, and potatoes as high as small mountains. Someone. Xu Wuyou quickly called out to his subordinates. Some of these grains can be used to provide food and clothing for the people, while others can be used for cultivation. Chang'an City, Tai Chi Hall. Li Shimin, dressed in a dragon robe, sat on a golden throne. And below him stands 100 officials. Everyone, if you have something to report, leave the court if you have nothing to do. Li Shimin said calmly, his eyes not angry but majestic. Your Majesty. At this moment, Tang Jian, one of the 100 officials, walked out. His official position is as Minister of the Ministry of the People. The drought in Liuye County has become increasingly severe. County Magistrate Xu Wuyou has repeatedly petitioned the court, hoping for your Majesty's permission to distribute food and provide relief to Liuye County. Li Shimin lifted his eyelids and was about to speak. At this moment, Changsun Wuji stood up. Your Majesty, there are constant disasters in the Tang Dynasty, and there is not much surplus grain in the national treasury. It is not appropriate to distribute it to Liuye County. Lord Changsun. Tang Jian said again, Xu Wuyou has submitted no less than 20 memorials. The memorial presented today is even more accusing your Majesty, saying that your Majesty has violated the law and failed to govern the country. I now request the Dali Temple to seek justice. Bold. Just a 9th-rank county magistrate, still suing the current emperor. It's completely beyond our control. Changsun Wuji was furious. At this moment, Fang Xuanling also frowned and said. Lord Changsun's words are reasonable. This person has no eyes for the emperor, so he should be beheaded. This year is a year of disaster, and this is the case in many places. How can it be said that it was Li Shimin's fault? Even the 9th-rank county magistrate dares to sue the emperor. Clearly, it is beyond our control. Li Shimin tapped on the dragon chair with his fingers, his eyes cold. Since ascending to the throne, he has devoted himself to serving the people of the Tang Dynasty, and has personally governed and legislated in every aspect. What about now? But was sued by a 9th-grade official. How can he not be angry? Humph, present it as a book. I would like to see how a mere 9th-grade county magistrate would like to sue me. Upon hearing this, Tang Jian quickly handed the memorial to the eunuch in front of the palace and asked him to present it to Li Shimin. After receiving the book, Li Shimin sneered and continued reading. But soon, his expression gradually solidified. After reading the last word, Li Shimin's expression was mixed and constantly changing. Your Majesty. Changsun Wuji noticed the change in Li Shimin's expression and spoke up. From the perspective of a humble minister, although Xu Wuyou was trying to alleviate the suffering of the people, he committed the following offenses with boldness and should be dismissed from his position. I also agree. The wind of this lawsuit must not rise again, otherwise there may be gaps between the emperor and the people. Fang Xuanling nodded in agreement with Changsun Wuji. At this moment, Li Shimin lifted his eyelids and smiled self-deprecatingly. This person is truly a talented individual, and the method of solving disasters is perfect. Upon careful consideration, I have made a mistake. As soon as these words were spoken, the eyes of civil and military officials were shocked and their faces were filled with shock. What exactly is written in the book? How could the emperor of that dynasty admit his mistake? In the crowd, Tang Jian appeared calm and composed. He has already read the book and fully agrees with Xu Wuyou Ruoyan. If it weren't for that, he wouldn't have presented it either. Your Majesty, the disaster is a natural disaster. What does it have to do with you? Why do you admit your mistake? Changsun Wuji looked puzzled. Li Shimin took a deep breath and said. Due to limited manpower, it is indeed impossible to prevent natural and man-made disasters. Reasonable measures should have been taken to respond, but I did not do so, which is my fault. I don't understand. Fang Xuanling was also puzzled. Many disasters have erupted in different places. Your Majesty has already sent out most of the treasury supplies. You have done enough, what else can you do? In Xu Wuyou's memorial, there is a method that can perfectly solve the problem of people's food and clothing, but we never thought of it. Li Shimin shook his head and sighed. What is the method? Everyone is curious. Chapter 2. Hurry up and be shocked, this is a divine artifact. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Take grain from the hands of the people, said Li Shimin. What? Taking food from the people's hands. Nowadays, there are constant natural disasters in the Tang Dynasty, and the people are struggling to make a living. The people have very little food left, so how can they lend it to the court? Not bad. What Xu Wuyou said is clearly nonsense. Don't be impatient. Li Shimin looked at the crowd and smiled. If you borrow too much at once, it won't work. But if each household only borrows £1, do you think it's possible to do so? As soon as the words fell, everyone, including Fang Xuanling, Changsun Wuji, and others, fell silent. Indeed, it is not possible to borrow food from the lions of the people. If each household only borrows £1, the situation will be completely different. There were many people in the Tang Dynasty, and even if only a few were willing to borrow grain, there were still hundreds of thousands of pounds. In this way, the difficulties in Liuye County can be solved. Tang Jian, what is Xu Wuyou's background? At this moment, Li Shimin looked at Tang Jian and asked. A person who can come up with such a good plan is by no means a simple one. Your Majesty. Tang Jian arched his hand. Xu Wuyou has a carefree personality. As an idle county magistrate, if it weren't for the drought in Liuye County, he probably wouldn't have exposed his talents. Oh. Li Shimin raised his eyebrows and said with great interest. This person is quite interesting. After the court meeting, Li Shimin left Chang'an with Fang Xuanling and Changsun Wuji. To conceal their identity, the accompanying guards were dressed in plain clothes and disguised as common people. A few days later, Li Shimin and others arrived in Liuye County. He thought that the drought in Liuye County was constant, and the people were already homeless, begging everywhere. But when he arrived in Liuye County, he was surprised to find that the people were working hard to cultivate in the farmland. Isn't it stated in the memorial that Liuye County is plagued by drought? Why do the people still farm in the fields? Changsun Wuji has some doubts. Li Shimin arrived at the edge of the farmland and looked up at the dazzling sun, equally curious. Under the scorching sun, I am still farming in the fields. Isn't this a waste of effort? Old man, what is planted in this field? Driven by curiosity, Li Shimin searched for an old man. Sweet potatoes. The old man wiped his sweat and panted heavily. What is sweet potato? Li Shimin, Fang Xuanling, and others looked puzzled. The old man saw this and took out a sweet potato from the nearby dustpan, handing it over. No. This is sweet potato. It was distributed by the county master, saying that as long as sweet potatoes are successfully planted, there is no need to worry about drought or lack of food now. Li Shimin took it over and looked at the sweet potato in his hand in surprise. What puzzled him was that he had no impression of this object. Although sweet potatoes look quite strange, their taste is very delicious, and both raw and cooked ones are very delicious. Nowadays, the people of Liuye County rely on sweet potatoes to make a living. Sweet potatoes. How about your yield? Li Shimin carefully weighed the sweet potato, and it weighed a bit. The old man smiled and said. The county magistrate said that as long as planted properly, 1 acre of farmland can produce 1,000 kilograms. What? 1,000 pounds per acre. Fang Xuanling and Changsun Wuji, who were standing next to him, were immediately taken aback by the situation. The land of the Tang Dynasty was rich, and there were countless crops planted by the people. But they have never heard of any crops that can achieve such a high yield. Can your county master be in the county government office? Li Shimin spoke up and became increasingly curious about Xu Wuyou. Estimate the time, the county magistrate should be here. Thank you very much. Li Shimin nodded in gratitude and then led Fang Xuanling and others towards the county government office. Quickly, the 3 of them arrived at the entrance of the county government office. However, just as Li Shimin and others wanted to enter, the Yamen guard at the door blocked them. The master is very busy and doesn't have time to see you. Oh. Li Shimin furrowed his brow and said, now is not the time for the trial. What can the county magistrate do? These are not things we should ask about. Your Majesty. At this moment, Changsun Wuji whispered, Tang Jian's words are indeed true. Xu Wuyou really looks like a salted fish. That's right. Fang Xuanling also nodded. What the people in the field said may be that Xu Wuyou had arranged it in advance to deceive others. No. Li Shimin thought for a moment and shook his head. The appearance of the people working hard and enjoying themselves is not just a pretense. Immediately, Li Shimin spoke up. Could you please inform the county magistrate? We are merchants from Chang'an, passing by Liuye County and planning to donate food. We hope to see the county magistrate again. Li Shimin didn't intend to reveal his identity, so he had to fool around casually. Merchant. Since that's the case, please wait a moment. The Yamen attendant looked at Li Shimin and others in surprise upon hearing this, and then quickly walked into the county Yamen. County government, kitchen. At the moment, Xu Wuyou is concentrating on making sweet potato congee and sweet potato cakes. Since the outbreak of the drought, the entire province of Liuye has been frugal in food and drink. As a county magistrate, his life has been much worse than before. Now that the system has finally given a big gift package, I must treat myself well. Ding! Due to the host successfully suing the emperor, they obtained a bag of chili peppers. Upon hearing these words, Xu Wuyou was momentarily taken aback. Is that successful? This result surprised him a bit. But the rewards of this system, why reward a bag of chili peppers? Real name reporting on this system is somewhat compromised. However, there is no mention of planting chili peppers in the Tang Dynasty, which is a good ingredient. At this moment, a Yamen runner hurried in. Master, there are 3 merchants outside the county government who claim to be from Chang'an and would like to donate grain to Liuye County. The specific matters will be discussed after seeing the master. Upon hearing these words, Xu Wuyou was momentarily taken aback. The sun has risen from the west, can such a good thing be my turn in Liuye County? Hurry up. Hurry up and invite these merchants in. Although the beginner's gift package offers a lot of food, for the vast Liuye County, it is just a matter of far and near quenching. Nowadays, some people donate food specifically, so there is no reason to refuse. Hall. Are these 3 merchants from Chang'an? It is said that you are going to donate grain to Liuye County. Xu Wuyou looked at Li Shimin and others and asked. Not bad. Li Shimin nodded. We heard about the continuous drought in Liuye County, so we took out our belts and bought some water and food, intending to donate them to the people of Liuye County. Great, I thank the 3 of you for your help on behalf of the people. Xu Wuyou said happily. It's just a small matter, it's not worth mentioning. Li Shimin said. Between his words, he couldn't help but leave the table next to Xu Wuyou. I saw a bowl of steaming sweet potato congee and sweet potato cakes filled with bursts of fragrance on the table. Entertaining guests naturally requires bringing some local specialties. County Magistrate, what is this? Although he had already guessed the sweet potato, he still pretended not to ask. This item is called sweet potato. Xu Wuyou smiled. The 3 of you have come from Chang'an, with a long journey and probably haven't eaten yet. There are not many delicacies in this county, but there are quite a few sweet potatoes. On the table are sweet potato congee and sweet potato bread. Would you like to have a taste? Chapter 3. Listen to me, I am such a good official. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay. Li Shimin immediately nodded. He was already curious about this sweet potato. Immediately, he took a steaming sweet potato pancake and took a gentle bite. Seeing Fang Xuanling and the others standing all the time, Xu Wuyou smiled. Why don't you 2 also taste it? Fang Xuanling and Changsun Wuji first looked at Li Shimin and noticed that he nodded lightly before walking over. Immediately, both of them picked up a piece of sweet potato pancake and started eating it. Xu Wuyou saw the situation and smiled. Ladies and gentlemen, how about the sweet potato pancakes in this county? Indeed delicious. Li Shimin exclaimed, when I first entered Liuye County, the yield of sweet potatoes among the common people could reach 1,000 kilograms per acre. Is that really true? That's nature. Xu Wuyou smiled and said, this is still the lowest estimate in our county. The yield of some fertile farmland is far higher than this. This sweet potato tastes incredibly delicious. If it could be planted in various parts of our Tang Dynasty, why would the people worry about food and clothing? Not bad. Sweet potatoes have a high yield and delicious taste, making them the top grade among crops. Fang Xuanling and his wife couldn't help but admire while eating sweet potatoes. As for the roast that Xu Wuyou was the inaction of Feilu County Magistrate, they had long forgotten about it. This county also thinks the same way. However, the emperor has never seen sweet potatoes before. It may be very difficult to promote them in various parts of our Tang Dynasty. Xu Wuyou said helplessly. Li Shimin was taken aback by the situation, then looked at Xu Wuyou and asked with a deep meaning. I heard earlier that County Magistrate Xu sent numerous memorials to the court, accusing the emperor of not following proper laws and regulations and failing to achieve good governance. In the eyes of County Magistrate Xu, is the current emperor so unbearable? As soon as these words were spoken, Fang Xuanling and the other 2 stopped moving, their eyes fixed on Xu Wuyou. They were also curious about Xu Wuyou's evaluation of Li Shimin. He. Xu Wuyou smiled and said, that's the emperor who lives high in the temple. How dare I speak freely? Moreover, if the 3 of you sell me, then this county will suffer indescribably. County Magistrate Xu is joking. Li Shimin raised his eyelids and said, you dare to sue the current emperor. Aren't you still afraid that we will report to the court? Xu Wuyou touched his chin and took a deep look at Li Shimin, saying. Since you are so curious, I would rather be respectful than obedient. Today, I am one of the few wise rulers in the world, but unfortunately, I don't like to listen to others' opinions. If he could see my memorial soon, the drought in Liuye County wouldn't get worse. As soon as the words fell, Li Shimin fell silent. He has heard of Xu Wuyou's consecutive petitions. However, disasters broke out in many parts of the Tang Dynasty, and the national treasury suffered severe losses. He also wanted to delay some time before taking action. If it weren't for Xu Wuyou's bold accusation of this emperor, the matter of Liuye County might still be dragging on. This matter is indeed a mistake made by the emperor, and I also agree with what you are accusing. As the saying goes, the emperor is wrong, just like the common people. If the emperor still makes mistakes in his actions in the future, you can continue to accuse him. Upon hearing this, Fang Xuanling and his wife were all surprised. How could the current emperor admit his mistake to Xu Wuyou? Xu Wuyou smiled and said, "What's the use of me suing the emperor? The emperor is already a sage, and the reason why he didn't see these memorials may be due to the hands and feet of some court officials." Xu County Magistrate's words make sense. Li Shimin pondered for a moment and nodded. You dare to sue the emperor. If you find that officials in the court are not behaving properly, you can naturally take the same action. If the situation is true, the emperor will definitely punish him severely. Oh. Xu Wuyou looked at Li Shimin and smiled. Your Excellency is joking. You are not the emperor, how can you understand what the emperor is thinking? Seeing that Li Shimin seemed to want to speak, Xu Wuyou waved his hand. I'm just a small county magistrate, so I won't discuss any national affairs. Aren't you all planning to donate food? Where is it? For Xu Wuyou, food is now the most crucial factor. Upon hearing this, Li Shimin was momentarily taken aback and then said. The grain is currently in Changle, but it won't be long before it can be transported to Liuye County. Previously, he ordered Tang Jian to execute the imperial order and borrow grain from the people, and the food problem could be quickly solved. Oh. How much food have you donated? Tens of thousands of dan. Fang Xuanling said. Tens of thousands of dan. Xu Wuyou was immediately taken aback. Nowadays, disasters occur frequently in various parts of the Tang Dynasty, and grain prices have long been skyrocketing. Nowadays, these people need to donate tens of thousands of dan of grain, and the amount of silver they need to spend is countless. It seems that the identities of these three people are not simple. Sir, what you requested earlier has been successfully made. Suddenly, a Yamen official came over to report. Let's go down. Xu Wuyou nodded, then his gaze fell on Li Shimin and others. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some matters that need to be dealt with in this county. Excuse me first. As soon as the words fell, Xu Wuyou stood up and left. At this moment, Fang Xuanling whispered softly. Your Majesty, so to speak, Xu County Magistrate is not like Tang Jian said, what an unbearable Liuye County Magistrate. Not bad. He just valued food, and we all saw it in our eyes. Such a person who considers the people is actually a rare good official in our Tang Dynasty. Changsun Wuji nodded in agreement. Upon hearing this, Li Shimin's mouth twitched slightly. Who used to curse others for doing nothing before? Just a few sweet potato pancakes, have you held on to your heart? As he spoke, he couldn't help but bite into the sweet potato pancake. Undercover. This thing really tastes good. Your Majesty, upon hearing what the Yamen runner said just now, it seems that County Magistrate Xu is studying something. Why not take a look? Fang Xuanling's suggestion. Li Shimin thought for a moment and then nodded, that's good. He was also quite curious about what Xu Wuyou was up to. Backyard. I saw Xu Wuyou rolling up his sleeves, holding the plow and rake, vigorously digging the soil. How could the county magistrate personally cultivate the land? Upon seeing this scene, Fang Xuanling's face was filled with shock. Li Shimin was also surprised, but he was even more curious about the plow and rake that Xu Wuyou was holding in his right hand. Did you notice that the plow and rake in the hand of County Magistrate Su seems to be somewhat different from ordinary? As soon as these words were spoken, Changsun Wuji and his companions looked over one after another, their eyes paused. It's really different. The plow and rake held by Xu Wuyou is significantly different from those manufactured by the Tang Dynasty. The plows and rakes used by the people of the Tang Dynasty were straight plows and rakes. What may be used in Wuyou's hands has a certain degree of curvature. So it seems that we were really wrong. Li Shimin exclaimed in admiration. Xu Wuyou is not only a good official who loves the people, but also an inventor with rich ideas. Chapter 4. Absolutely. It's really a masterpiece. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Well done. After using the curved plow to plow the land, Xu Wuyou nodded in satisfaction and instructed. Instruct the carpenter to strictly follow the drawings provided by our county for mass production and complete the work. Our county will reward you. Yes. The Yamen official nodded happily. At the same time, Li Shimin and others also walked over. County Magistrate Su, why is the plow and rake in your hand curved? It seems that I remember my plow and rake in the Tang Dynasty were straight, right? Xu Wuyou smiled at the words. Although the Tang Dynasty was rich in territory, agriculture was still in its early stages of development, and no one had yet invented the curved plow. It is normal for Li Shimin to have this question. Not bad. Our county has found that the plows used by the people are too straight, time-consuming and laborious, seriously affecting the agricultural development of our Tang Dynasty. Therefore, this county made slight modifications and invented a brand new plow rake, which I call the Chu Yuan plow. The Chu Yuan plow is lightweight and has a curved head, which not only saves labor but also reduces the fatigue of cows when plowing. Surprisingly so magical. Li Shimin was amazed at the sight. County Magistrate Su, can I have a try? When Li Shimin was not yet registered, he also went to the fields to cultivate with the people, using a straight plow. The quality of Chu-Yuanli can be determined by giving it a try. Nature. Xu Wuyou smiled and nodded, handing over the nearby Chu-Yuanli. The weight is indeed much lighter, and I don't know how the effect is. Li Shimin thought to himself, and then he began to practice farming. Although Fang Xuanling and his wife have not personally cultivated the land, they have never eaten pork. Have they ever seen pigs run away? After just a few glances, they were shocked to find that the Chu Yuan plow invented by Xu Wuyou had greatly improved efficiency compared to traditional tools. Li Shimin was even more pleasantly surprised. I can't believe that the Chu Yuan plow is truly so magical, lightweight and effective. It is truly a rare agricultural artifact. If it can be promoted throughout the Tang Dynasty, it will definitely greatly promote the development of agriculture. How about it? Seeing Li Shimin's expression and reaction, Xu Wuyou had already guessed that the other party must be very satisfied with Chu Yuanli. Very magical. Compared to the straight plow, it's simply a scrap metal. Li Shimin walked out of the field with his sleeves rolled up, looking at Xu Wuyou with a surprised expression on his face. Xu County Magistrate is truly a great talent, he actually invented such an agricultural artifact, which really impressed Li. Brother Li praised it falsely, it's just a mere farming tool, how can it be considered a divine tool? Xu Wuyou smiled and waved his hand. Xu County Magistrate is humble. Once Chu Yuanli is promoted in the Tang Dynasty, our Tang Dynasty's grain production will definitely increase several times. In Li's eyes, this is even more precious than gold. Li Shimin sincerely said. I have been bothering you for a long time today. I have also informed the county magistrate about donating food, so we will leave first. Okay. Xu Wuyou nodded. After leaving the county government office, Li Shimin looked at Fang Xuanling and the others. Can you two see the appearance of the Chu Yuan plow clearly? Your Majesty, I have been watching very carefully. Fang Xuanling and Changsun Wuji nodded. So you two may have made this song, me.We. Ah, this. Fang Xuanling and Changsun Wuji looked at each other with an unpleasant expression on their faces. They do remember the appearance of Chu Yuanli in their minds. But if we really want it to be made, it's as difficult as heaven. Humph. Li Shimin was a bit unhappy. Didn't you two just take a closer look? Your Majesty. Changsun Wuji quickly arched his hand. We haven't thought about making it yet, so we haven't paid too much attention to its structure. So am I. If that's the case, let's see it again tomorrow. If you can't make it, I won't let it go lightly. Your Majesty. Changsun Wuji was somewhat puzzled. If you really want the method of making the Quan Li, why not ask County Magistrate Su directly? Not bad. Fang Xuanling nodded and said with a bitter smile. If you ask us to govern the country and investigate cases, it's still feasible, but if we were to do such manual work, I really can't do anything about it. It's really a group of foodies. If I ask, wouldn't it be possible to expose my identity? Li Shimin has a bad temper. The person he sued is me. If I were to let him know my identity, how should I handle myself? Fang Xuanling and the others were taken aback and then said one after another. Your Majesty's words make sense. Vertical Sun. Li Shimin and Fang Xuanling arrived at the county government again. Isn't this Lao Li? He just arrived yesterday. Did the grain arrive in Liuye County? Seeing Li Shimin and others, Xu Wuyou was immediately overjoyed. The grain is still in transit, said Li Shimin. Are those people having other matters today? Cough. Li Shimin coughed and said. Yesterday, Li was impressed by Chu Yuanli, the magistrate of Su County, and today he wants to observe again. This way. Don't worry, how about we finish the clay pot and then go? Eating clay pot. Li Shimin and others were momentarily stunned. Old Li, come here and you'll understand. Xu Wuyou smiled and then brought Li Shimin and others to the hall. In the center of the vast hall was a fireplace, with a large pot on top of it. Around the great country, there was a wooden table with many ingredients placed in bamboo baskets. Come on, sit down quickly. Xu Wuyou greeted Li Shimin and others to take their seats, and then ordered his subordinates to add more charcoal inside. Until the bottom of the pot began to roll and the fragrance filled the air, Xu Wuyou spoke up. All right. The bottom of the pot is boiling, you can choose your favorite ingredients from the nearby ones and put them into this pot. Between words, Xu Wuyou picked up a potato chip with chopsticks and put it into the bottom of the pot. Zizi in an instant, the bottom of the pot boiled and made a crackling sound. This is a potato, which is very suitable as a seasoning for a clay pot. You will definitely fall in love with it. Potatoes. As soon as these words were spoken, Li Shimin and others were taken aback. Previously it was sweet potatoes, now it's potatoes, why don't they have any impression of it? Give it a try quickly, the taste is definitely not inferior to sweet potatoes. Seeing Li Shimin and others hesitating, Xu Wuyou smiled and said. Li Shimin nodded and then picked up a piece of potato, imitating Xu Wuyou's appearance, and put it into the hot pot. In our hometown, clay pot is a very classic way of eating. Whether it's raw meat or vegetables, they can be thrown into hot pot and fried. After frying for a certain period of time, you can clip it out and dip it into the prepared ingredients. It's truly a unique taste in the world. Xu Wuyou explained with a smile. At the same time, he kept flipping potato chips with his chopsticks to ensure that the rain and dew were evenly distributed. After a few breaths, Xu Wuyou picked it up, dipped it in the dipping material held in a wooden bowl, and then took a bite. This taste is good. Chapter 5. If you encounter any injustice, you can write it to me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You guys should give it a try too. Seeing Li Shimin and others stunned, Xu Wuyou smiled. He knew in his heart that the Tang Dynasty not only lacked potatoes and sweet potatoes, but also had no mention of clay pot, which naturally made him feel a bit uncomfortable. That would be disrespectful. Li Shimin nodded and then learned Xu Wuyou with a dignified attitude. He picked up potato chips and dipped them in some dipping sauce before taking a bite. The taste is really good, but it's just a bit spicy. While admiring, Li Shimin also stretched out his tongue in a spicy manner. I actually forgot to remind Brother Li that if you can't eat spicy food, dip less in the dipping sauce. Watching Li Shimin sweat profusely from being spicy, Xu Wuyou couldn't help but cry and laugh. Fang Xuanling and his wife were also curious and began to learn in a certain way. It's really delicious. It seems that with these dipping ingredients, the taste is even better than yesterday's sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes and potatoes are two different varieties, and their flavors naturally differ. Xu Wuyou said. Brother Xu really impressed Li, not only as an inventor, but also as a culinary expert. I have tasted the delicacies of mountains and seas before, but I have never tried such a unique way of eating. Ha ha ha. Brother Li's praise. Xu Wuyou waved his hand and smiled. The three of you are willing to donate food to Liuye County. You have already been the benefactors of Liuye County. If you have time in the future, the gate of this county will always be open for you. Okay. Sweet potatoes and potatoes will have to be filled up then. Li Shimin laughed and said. The talent demonstrated by Xu Wuyou is truly appreciated in his heart. It's just simple food, there are plenty in this county. Xu Wuyou smiled and said, all right, after finishing, I'll take you to see Li again. Okay. Although he was quite amazed by the food Xu Wuyou cooked, Li Shimin still distinguished the importance of the matter. In the following days, Li Shimin spent almost all day soaking in the county government office. One is to better observe Xu Wuyou's Li. Secondly, sweet potato pancakes and potato clay pots were really delicious, and Li Shimin began to linger and forget to leave. Your Majesty, after several days, I have already mastered the entire production process of Li. Oh. If that's the case, could you possibly make it? Li Shimin asked. As long as the materials are sufficient, production is not a problem. Changsun Wuji patted his chest and said. Great. Li Shimin was overjoyed. It's also time to bid farewell to Xu Wuyou. I'm going back to Chang'an to make Li and promote it to the Tang Dynasty. With such a divine tool, the development of agriculture in the Tang Dynasty is bound to further advance. Your Majesty, it is holy and wise. Your Majesty, it is holy and wise. Fang Xuanling and the other two arched hands in succession. By the way, what's the problem with grain transportation? If it's not transported to Liuye County again, Xu Wuyou may become suspicious. Report to your Majesty. In order to improve efficiency, I have instructed Tang Jian to transport the grain in batches. Calculating the time, it should be time. Okay. Then let's go to the county government and take a look. When Li Shimin and others arrived at the county government office, they were surprised to find many cars parked at the entrance. Tang Jian's actions are quite impressive. Between words, Li Shimin and Fang Xuanling walked in. After several days, coupled with the frequent entry and exit of Li Shimin's people, the nearby Yamen guard knew that they were good friends with the county magistrate and naturally dared not have any obstruction. When Li Shimin and others arrived at the hall, they found Xu Wuyou talking to a man dressed in official attire and with an elegant demeanor. Seeing Li Shimin and others coming over, Xu Wuyou greeted them. Old Li, you go to another courtyard first. Once I finish dealing with the matter, I'll go find you immediately. At the same time, Tang Jian also saw Li Shimin and others. Just as she was about to kneel respectfully, Fang Xuanling gently shook her head, signaling that the latter should not reveal her identity. Mr. Xu, these three people also donated grain to Liuye County. In order to facilitate transportation, I mixed it with the official grain. Now that the grain has arrived, we just need to discuss with them. I see. Xu Wuyou suddenly said, then, old Li, please sit down too. After Li Shimin and others sat down, Xu Wuyou said excitedly. I didn't expect the transportation of grain to be so fast. I believe your Majesty has listened to my memorial proposal. Xu County Magistrate guessed well. Tang Jian nodded with a smile, but with such a bold method, Xu County Magistrate must not have it again. If the Emperor gets angry, it's not something you can afford. That's not enough. Xu Wuyou shook his head, the Emperor is one of the few wise rulers. If what I say is useful to the Tang Dynasty, even if my actions are bold and excessive, your Majesty will definitely not truly blame me. I agree with that. What you have done is useful, how can the Emperor blame you today? Li Shimin couldn't help but say. And what you have done is actually a good way to motivate the Emperor, worthy of great promotion. If you think someone did something wrong, then file a lawsuit, even if the target is the current Emperor. As soon as these words were spoken, Xu Wuyou was quite surprised to see Li Shimin. Old Li. Your words and actions are quite similar to those of officials in the court. You may not be clear, suing the Emperor is a great crime. If the Emperor's mood is not good, he may execute my 9 clans in minutes. Absolutely impossible. Li Shimin firmly rejected it. As you just said, the Emperor is one of the few wise rulers. How could he blame you for his bad mood? Not bad. I also agree with Boss Li. Tang Jian quickly agreed. I didn't expect Mr. Tang to speak like this. Even so, in the future, if there is any injustice in this county, no matter who the target is, if they make a big mistake, they will definitely file a lawsuit. It should be so. Li Shimin nodded in agreement. I suggest that if there are any further complaints in the future, they can be directly handed over to Lord Tang, who will then hand them over to the Emperor. Between his words, Li Shimin glanced lightly at Tang Jian. Mr. Tang, how about Li's suggestion? Upon hearing this, Tang Jian twitched his lips. This is not a suggestion, it is clearly a blatant command. Immediately afterwards, Tang Jian's butt was bumpy. Mr. Li's words are reasonable. County Magistrate Xu, if you encounter any injustice in the future, you can file a lawsuit against me. I will transfer it to your Majesty. Okay. With Mr. Tang's guarantee, our county can rest assured. After handling the grain ceremony, Li Shimin and others followed the Tang Jianchao to Chang'an. On the way. Mr. Tang. Li Shimin left Tang Jian behind and said with a smile on his face. Didn't you say that Xu Wuyou didn't do anything before? After these times, I have found that Xu Wuyou loves the people like a son and is a rare good official. Your Majesty. Tang Jian's expression paused, feeling extremely embarrassed. Previously, Wei Chen was only hearsay and was not clear about the character of County Magistrate Xu. Chapter 6. Good Officials of the Tang Dynasty, Strange People in the World. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Humph. Fang Xuanling let out a cold snort. Mr. Tang, please carefully finalize the matter of reporting to your Majesty in the future. That's right. Changsun Wuji nodded in agreement. County Magistrate Xu is not only a good official of the Tang Dynasty, but also an outstanding talent, which can be called a remarkable person. As the saying goes, eating people with a short mouth, coupled with Xu Wuyou's outstanding ability, naturally changed their impression of him. After Li Shimin, Fang Xuanling, and others left, Xu Wuyou ordered his subordinates to evenly distribute the grain to every household. The people were immensely delighted and even praised Wuyou as a good official. Master, I was worried before, but I didn't expect your Majesty to really listen to your advice, said Master in surprise. This county has long said that the Emperor is a generation-wise ruler, and why not take measures that benefit the Tang Dynasty? Xu Wuyou smiled. Suddenly, a yamen runner rushed in with a hurried expression on his face. Master, the big deal is not good. Suddenly, a group of carriages and horses appeared outside the city. For some unknown reason, they were trampling and running around in the people's crops, and many of the sweet potatoes sown by the people were forcibly trampled off. As soon as these words were spoken, Xu Wuyou flew into a rage. How unreasonable! Subsequently, Xu Wuyou immediately led the Yamen guards to set off. When he arrived at the farmland mentioned by the Yamen runner, he really found that someone who didn't flatter him was running around in the crops. At a pavilion, a young man dressed in gold and silver was chatting and laughing with his subordinates, with a playful expression on his shoulders. Xu Wuyou's eyes suddenly turned cold and walked over. Are you the owners of those horses? The young man in Huafu lifted his eyelids and said high up. Not bad. It's exactly yours, young master. According to the laws of the Tang Dynasty, allowing flattery to trample on the crops of the people is guilty. Xu Wuyou said coldly. What? You actually said that this young master is guilty. The young man in Huafu raised his eyebrows and said arrogantly. Do you know who Ben Shao is? My young master's name is Changsun Chong. My father is Changsun Wuji and holds the position of Minister of Justice. Do you dare to say that I am guilty? Do you believe that I will let my father destroy your entire clan? That's right. It's just one term of the 9th grade county magistrate, and it's ridiculous to say that our young master is guilty. Everything is just ants, why say so much? Once the young master's horse has rested, he will immediately return to Chang'an. If the emperor violates the law, he will still be punished with the common people. Xu Wuyou's eyes cooled down and he said expressionlessly, even if you are the son of Changsun Wuji, if you are guilty, you should be punished with the people. Someone. Capture all these people. Bold. You have to think carefully. Are you really going to offend my Changsun family? Upon discovering that Xu Wuyou was really about to take action, Changsun Chong suddenly felt a little flustered. So what about catching you? Xu Wuyou gave a cold smile and said, someone, take it away. After the Yamen attendant pressed Changsun Chong and his servants back to the county Yamen, Xu Wuyou immediately took out a pen and paper. Master, you don't want to sue Lord Changsun Wuji, do you? Upon seeing this, Master looked worried. Humph, Changsun Chong is so arrogant and domineering, it's his father's fault. This county will sue Changsun Wuji for teaching his son recklessly. Xu Wuyou said. Between his words, he finished writing the petition with a few strokes. You hurry up and pass on the memorial of this county to Mr. Tang. Okay. Okay. Although the master is worried, he dare not disobey the county magistrate's orders. Immediately, he rode a fast horse and set off towards Chang'an. Chang'an. As soon as Li Shimin arrived in Chang'an, he immediately ordered Fang Xuanling and the others to focus on the production process of the Chu Yuanli. A few days later, Chu Yuanli was successfully introduced. In order to promote Chu Yuanli in the Tang Dynasty, Li Shimin led civil and military officials to the backyard of the palace. He personally used a curved plow to cultivate land in the backyard. Practice is more useful than any words. The Chu Yuan plow is truly magical, not only lightweight, but also more efficient than traditional agricultural tools. Not bad. Look at that cow pulling the curved plow, plowing several times without any signs of breathing. Upon hearing everyone's praise, Changsheng Wuji and Fang Xuanling exchanged a glance, feeling instantly proud in their hearts. Chu Yuanli was born in their hands, and now he has received praise from civil and military officials. They are naturally happy in their hearts. After Li Shimin personally demonstrated a few times, he stopped and his gaze fell on the civil and military officials. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the effect of this Chu Yuanli? Your Majesty. Wei Zheng took a step forward and said, the Chu Yuan plow is indeed faster than traditional agricultural tools in terms of speed. I am amazed. Your Majesty. Du Ruhui also stood up and said, the Chu Yuan plow not only saves manpower, but also the cows used for farming save a lot of effort. Where did your majesty obtain such a magical production method? Haha. Li Shimin smiled and said, this method. It was obtained from the 9th-ranked county magistrate who sued me not long ago. What? The county magistrate of Liuye County. Didn't Lord Tang Jian say earlier that this person was useless? Not bad. Can the county magistrate really come up with such a devilish and immortal method? Seeing everyone questioning, Tang Jian could also stand up. The words I said to County Magistrate Su earlier were just what I heard on the official road, and my eyes were too narrow. When I went to Liuye County this time, I found that Xu Wuyou was not only a rare good official, but also an extraordinary person. Since that's the case, why don't your majesty summon him into the palace? He will be highly valued by our Tang Dynasty. Not bad. Xu Wuyou had previously planned to solve the disaster by his majesty, and now he has presented his Ziyuan plow technique, which deserves a heavy reward. Rewards are natural. Li Shimin smiled and said. But now the most important thing is to promote Chu Yuanli in my Tang Dynasty. Tang Jian, if you manage the Ministry of Civil Affairs, you will be responsible for completing this matter. I obey your orders. Tang Jian nodded respectfully. Chapter 7. I promise no worries, and I can also supervise officials. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. At the same time, he glanced at Changsun Wuji and then said to Li Shimin. Your Majesty, not long ago the county magistrate sent a memorial over. Oh. Li Shimin raised his eyebrows and asked with great interest. Xu Wuyou, what do you have to report? It's not a report, it's a lawsuit. Complaint. Li Shimin was stunned and inexplicably felt guilty. Doesn't he want to sue me again? It's not your majesty, the person who was sued by county magistrate Su. It's Lord Changsun Wuji. What? County magistrate Su wants to sue me. Changsun Wuji's face was full of confusion. Why did he sue me? Tang Jian looked helpless and handed over the memorial. Please take a look at the specific content, Your Majesty. Li Shimin opened it and his face immediately darkened. Changsun Wuji, you're so brave. Your Majesty, what's wrong with Wei Chen? But what's wrong with him? Changsun Wuji quickly knelt down and asked with a face full of fear. Your son Changsun Wuji, Changsun Chong, allowed his horses to trample on crops while carrying his servants through Liuye County, and threatened Xu Wuyou in your name. Now Xu Wuyou has been writing a letter to me, accusing your eldest grandson Wuji of his incompetence in teaching his son. How do you think I should handle it? Your Majesty. I am in fear. Changsun Wuji kowtowed one after another. I know nothing about what the rebellious son Changsun Chong did. It's the fault of a son not to teach a father. Li Shimin said lightly. I will punish you with half a year's salary as a warning to others. And Changsun Chong, fully entrusted to Xu Wuyou for handling. I lead the order. Changsun Wuji arched his hand, as if he had aged a few years. Afterwards, Li Shimin returned to the Ganlu Hall and realized that Empress Changsun had been waiting for her long time. Guanyin maid, when did you come? Li Shimin smiled and said. I have seen your majesty. Empress Changsun bowed, then poured a cup of tea and personally handed it to Li Shimin. It is said that someone has sued my elder brother and specifically asked his majesty. Your message is quite insightful. Li Shimin lightly sipped his tea and said. Your Majesty is in the backyard of the palace, punishing my elder brother on the spot. It's not easy for me to think so. Your Majesty, I have heard that the person who sued my elder brother is a county magistrate. Not bad, a county magistrate who dares to sue the Minister of Justice is quite courageous. Empress Changsun was somewhat surprised. Ha ha ha. This person once sued me. How can they fear a Minister of Justice? Li Shimin smiled and said. What? He even dares to sue His Majesty. This courage is too great. Empress Changsun was even more surprised. No problem. Li Shimin waved his hand. Although this person's actions are inappropriate, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't know how to deal with the drought in Liuye County. Your Majesty, why did you say this? Sensing the confusion of Empress Changsun, Li Shimin explained the situation. This is so worry-free, it's really not easy. Empress Changsun pondered for a moment and exclaimed in amazement. Nature. Li Shimin smiled and said, I have seen this person before. It's not like Tang Jian said, he has done nothing to the people. On the contrary, he loves the people like a son and is a rare good official. Especially his invention of the Chu Yuan plow, if it can be successfully promoted in my Tang Dynasty, it will definitely further advance my Tang Dynasty agriculture. Xu Wuyou has indeed made great contributions to our Tang Dynasty, but Your Majesty. Empress Changsun paused and pleaded. I hope for the sake of my concubine, don't blame Changsun Chong. He will eventually become Changle's future husband. Li Shimin felt quite helpless upon seeing the situation. As a father, he does not want Princess Changle to marry Changsun Chong. However, as Changsun Wuji was a founding hero of the Tang Dynasty, coupled with the relationship with Empress Changsun, he could only agree. I can agree to the marriage between Lizzie and Changsun Chong, but I'm worried that Lizzie won't want to. Don't worry, let me handle this matter. Empress Changsun smiled. Li Ji has always been filial, and she will definitely understand our hard work. However, at this moment, a maid rushed in with a hurried expression on her face. Your Majesty, Empress Dowager, things are not going well. Princess. The princess is missing. What? As soon as these words were spoken, Li Shimin and his wife's faces changed one after another. What happened? Empress Changsun quickly inquired. The maid said in fear, I don't know either. Today, the princess suddenly wanted to relax outside the palace, but she didn't expect that on the street, the princess suddenly disappeared. Waste. You can even lose sight of people, I don't want your head anymore. Li Shimin was furious. Your Majesty, calm down. Empress Changsun hurriedly said, the most important thing now is to retrieve the princess, not to blame a servant. The queen's words make sense. Li Shimin pondered for a moment and immediately ordered. Commander of the Forbidden Army. Liuye County. The county government welcomes a guest, a father.in.law from Chang'an. Wang Gonggang, is this really Your Majesty's intention? Can this county handle Changsun Chong according to the law? Nature. Wang Gonggang smiled. Our family is carrying Your Majesty's dragon speech, isn't Lord Su suspicious? Of course not. Xu Wuyou shook his head in surprise. In his vision, Li Shimin would most likely order Changsun Chong to leave. Anyway, Changsun Chong is the legitimate eldest son of the Changsun family. His father, Changsun Wuji, was also a powerful minister. Why did Li Shimin offend Changsun Wuji for his sake? Lord Su, you are highly valued by Your Majesty now, and Your Majesty has spoken. If you find anything wrong with the officials, you can report it to the court. Not only innocent, but also able to receive Your Majesty's reward. Chapter 8. Good Guy, Marrying Changle as a Concubine. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Su Wulwan smiled and shook his head. My father.in.law looked down upon me. If it weren't for Changsun Chong's arrogance and destruction of the people's crops, and for threatening him in the name of his father, I wouldn't have taken the action of suing him. All right. The will of the Holy Spirit has been conveyed, and it's time for our family to return. Wang Gonggang smiled and didn't say much. Someone. Escort the father.in.law to leave. After finishing all of this, Xu Wuyou also felt quite helpless. Li Shimin's behavior surprised him a bit. But it proves that Li Shimin is actually a wise ruler. Ding. Due to the successful prosecution of the host, the following rewards were obtained. Innate divine power, and a book of early Tang Dynasty historical records. Suddenly, a mechanical sound sounded. Natural divine power. Records of the early Tang Dynasty. Xu Wuyou was stunned for a moment. This reward surprised him a bit. Isn't innate divine power the power of a king? It's actually a good reward. He is the magistrate of a county, and it is inevitable that there will be bandits and other bandits in the governance area. With the power of a hegemon to protect his body, there is no need to be afraid in the future. Immediately, Xu Wuxin silently recited in his heart. System, integrating innate divine power. As soon as the words fell, a warm current suddenly appeared in Xu Wuyou's body, followed by a burst of powerful force. Xu Wuyou waved his arm slightly, as if an endless force was flowing. He had a feeling that with a punch, even a cow might not be able to stop him. Try your strength. Xu Wuyou looked eager to try. Soon, his gaze fell on the stone table in the courtyard. It weighs at least 400 pounds. Xu Wuyou walked forward quickly and reached out to clasp both sides of the stone table. Drink. Accompanied by a loud shout, the stone table was forcibly lifted up. Meanwhile, the master had just walked in. When he saw this, his eyes immediately widened. Master, you. How could your strength be so great? Xu Wuyou smiled and put down the stone table, saying. Master, it's just that you never realized it. The master exclaimed in amazement and then said. Sir, an unconscious woman appeared at the entrance of the county government office just now. I have placed her inside the office. How should we handle it? A unconscious woman. Xu Wuyou touched his chin and said, I think she must be a refugee from somewhere else. It's easy to take care of. If she wakes up, you can give her some food to escort her out of Liuye County. Master, that woman woke up and wanted to see you by name, said the master. See me. Xu Wuyou was momentarily taken aback. I think that woman has nowhere to go, that's why she wants to seek help from the master. The master guessed. If that's the case, then take me to see her. Xu Wuyou said. Quickly, master brought Xu Wuyou to the east wing room. I saw a woman with dirty hands and dirty faces sitting in the wing room, eating sweet potato pancakes with great enthusiasm. Xu Wuyou saw the situation and did not speak out, but carefully examined the other party. Although women have dirty hands and dirty faces, the skin inadvertently exposed on their sleeves is fair and translucent, and the fabrics they wear are rare and well crafted. Xu Wuyou guessed that this woman is either rich or noble. At this moment, the master spoke up. Don't you want to see the county magistrate? The magistrate is right in front of you now. County magistrate. Upon hearing this, the woman immediately put down the sweet potato pancake and turned to look at Xu Wuyou. Are you the magistrate of Liuye County? Xu Wuyou nodded and sat opposite the woman. Who are you? Where do you come from? My name is Li Changle, I came from an extremely distant place and now I am homeless. County Magistrate Xu, can you take me in? This. Xu Wuyou's face paused with some hesitation. At this moment, Master smiled and whispered in Xu Wuyou's ear. Master, since Madam left, you haven't remarried. This woman has a good appearance, why don't you take her as a concubine? Nonsense. Xu Wuyou glared angrily. The woman also felt a bit flustered upon hearing this and hurriedly said. I will never be a concubine. In fact, this woman is not someone else, but Princess Changle who escaped from Chang'an. At first, Li Changle wanted to stay away from Chang'an, even to escape outside the border. However, he didn't bring much money and food, and when he passed through Liuye County, he went hungry and fainted. Upon seeing this, Master's face turned cold. You are such a naive woman. Now that you are homeless, being able to marry our county magistrate as a concubine is already a blessing you have earned from your past life. Do you know that the women in Liuye County who want to marry our master as concubines are almost on their way to Chang'an? You really don't know what's good or bad. I don't care, I will never be a concubine anyway. Li Changle stubbornly said. She is at least a princess of the Tang Dynasty. If she were to become a concubine for a county magistrate, wouldn't she lose all the face of the royal family? Okay. Master sneered coldly and said, since that's the case, please find another job for the girl. You. Li Changle suddenly felt a bit at a loss, his small hand tightly grasping the corner of his clothes, his eyes struggling. After a long time, Li Changle raised his head and gritted his teeth, saying, I agree. When passing through Liuye County, she heard that the county magistrate was a good official and deeply loved by the people. Although she doesn't know much about Xu Wuyou, compared to Changsun Chong, she is willing to marry Xu Wuyou as a concubine. Miss, Master is just joking. Don't take it seriously. Xu Wuyou hurriedly said. Moreover, he also found that Li Changle was not voluntary. So, why force it? However, Li Changle said seriously. Since I have made a decision, I will marry you as a concubine. You. Xu Wuyou twitched his lips, feeling somewhat helpless. Master smiled and said, Master, the girls have all agreed. Why are you hesitating? Okay. Okay. Xu Wuyou nodded helplessly. From now on, you can stay in Liuye County. If we get along well in the future, I will marry you openly and let you marry into Liuye County. Okay. Li Changle nodded happily. So, it's naturally the best. She is at least a princess, and revealing her identity is just a matter of time. If Li Shimin discovers that she is married to a county magistrate as a concubine, she will surely be furious. Chapter 9. Women with unknown identities can be taken in. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In that case, you should eat well first, and later a maid will bring you new clothes. After the words fell, Xu Wuyou turned around and left. At the same time, he instructed his master. Immediately have someone investigate Li Changle's identity. The fabric of this woman's clothes is extraordinary, either rich or expensive, and she needs to be thoroughly investigated. Master. Master smiled and said. No matter what the woman's background is, she is willing to marry you, so there's no need for investigation, right? No way. This matter cannot be confused. Xu Wuyou shook his head. I am the magistrate of a county and cannot take in women of unknown identities, otherwise it will definitely cause criticism from the people. The master's words make sense, I will immediately arrange for someone to investigate. Great prison. After briefly explaining to the master, Xu Wuyou went to the county government prison. At this moment, Changsun Chongjing was wearing a prison uniform and constantly cursing Xu Wuyou. You are a blind dog official, even your eldest grandson dares to catch him. When I go out, I will definitely let my father destroy your whole family. Okay. Our county will wait and see. Xu Wuyou gave a cold smile. Wang Gonggang passed on the holy words on his behalf, and he could directly punish Changsun Chong according to the laws of the Tang Dynasty. Therefore, he had no need to consider the identity of Changsun Wuji. Dog official, are you afraid now? I'll just say that, even if you regret letting me go now, I'll dismiss you and beat your muscles. Seeing Xu Wuyou approaching, Changsun Chong raised his head and threatened sternly. However, his expression quickly solidified. Following the emperor's wishes, Changsun Chong was arrogant and domineering, allowing flattery to trample on the people's farmland and publicly threatening the county magistrate. According to the laws of the Tang Dynasty, he was fined 50 taels and 1,000 silver. The will of the emperor. You are clearly talking nonsense. How could your majesty punish me? I am the future son. In law, this is impossible. Changsun Chang's face was full of disbelief, and then he roared angrily. You must have fabricated it recklessly and wanted to seek personal revenge. Hurry up and let Ben Xiao go. Ben Xiao wants to personally face the Holy Spirit. Noisy. Xu Wuyou frowned and waved his hand. Someone. Drag him out, severe punishment. Yes. Upon seeing the situation, the Yamen officials immediately dragged Changsun Chong away. Dog official. Dog official. You have abused lynching, and I will definitely sue you when I return to the capital in the future. You like it. After finishing all of this, Xu Wuyou returned to his room. He suddenly thought of something. The early Tang Dynasty historical records that were previously rewarded by the system have not been checked yet. Immediately, he took it out and slowly watched. In the early years of the Zhenguan era, a sudden flood occurred in Chongqing County of the Tang Dynasty. The 5 elements and 7 Wangs refused to save their lives, hoarding food and making a difficult fortune for the country. Countless people starved to death. Li Shimin, in order to solve the situation, personally visited the 5 families and 7 Wangs to borrow food, but was humiliated. In the 3rd year of the Zhenguan reign, Zhang Gongjin suggested that the Tang dynasty attack the Eastern Turkic Khaganate to ease the border situation. Li Shimin appointed Li Jing as the commander and joined hands with Zhang Gongjin to launch an attack on the Eastern Turkic Khaganate. Unexpectedly, the vanguard general Jiang Feng defected along the way, and thousands of Tang dynasty cavalry died in vain on the battlefield. As time passed, Xu Wuyou's expression became increasingly serious. He found that the events recorded in the records of the early Tang dynasty were all events that occurred in the early years of Zhenguan. The details are even more detailed than those recorded in previous life history. Now is the 1st day of June in the 1st year of the Zhenguan reign. In other words, in less than 11 days, Chongqing County will experience a sudden flood, and the people will also be displaced and starve to death on the streets. No way. Such an important matter must be reported to the court in advance. Chang'an City, Tai Chi Hall. Li Shimin, dressed in a 5-clawed golden dragon robe, sat on a golden throne. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have something to report, please leave the court if you have nothing to do. At this moment, Tang Jian hurriedly said. Your Majesty, I have received an urgent memorial from Xu Wuyou in Liuye County. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone's gaze fell on Tang Jian. They are quite curious about those who dare to sue today's son and receive praise from the emperor. What is this county magistrate reporting this time? Upon hearing this, Li Shimin waved. Show me. Soon, a father.in.law handed over the memorial. After reading the content, Li Shimin frowned. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any understanding of the weather in Chongqing County, Shandong? What are the anomalies? At this moment, Changsun Wuji arched his hand and said. According to the report from Shandong, there is no abnormality. Why did Xu Wuyou say in his memorial that there would be a sudden flood in Chongqing County within a maximum of 11 days? He specifically suggested that I prepare in advance. What? How did Xu Wuyou learn about the sudden flood in Chongqing County after the 11th? Isn't this worry-free even able to see celestial phenomena? For a moment, various civil and military officials began to discuss with each other. Li Shimin lifted his eyelids and looked at Li Chunfeng beside him. Li Aiqing, as the head of the Taisha Bureau, do you have any opinions? The Taisha Bureau is independent of the 6 ministries and is responsible for observing astronomy, geography, and so on. Your Majesty. Li Chunfeng arched his hand and said, recently, the weather in Shandong has been stable and there are no signs of sudden floods. As soon as these words were spoken, Li Shimin touched his chin and began to ponder. He was pondering whether to believe in Li Chunfeng or Xu Wuyou. Your Majesty. Changsun Wuji spoke again, Xu Wuyou is just a 9th-grade county magistrate. Although he is quite talented, how did he know that Chongqing County would experience a sudden flood? Mr. Li is in charge of the Taisha Bureau, with knowledge of astronomy and geography. As for who to trust, does this still require hesitation? Lord Changsun's words make sense. It's just a county magistrate, how can one understand the concept of meteorology? I also agree with what Lord Changsun said. For a moment, civil and military officials all agreed with what Changsun Wuji said. Li Shimin also nodded. Changsun Iching said it well. If that's the case, then let's retreat. Chapter 10. Beheading in public to rectify the atmosphere of the Tang Dynasty. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Ganmu Hall. Your Majesty, is there any whereabouts of Changle? Empress Changsun saw Li Shimin returning and quickly asked. Not yet. Li Shimin also felt a headache. I have ordered Li Junxian to search for Changle with all his might. I think there will be news soon if necessary. Between his words, Li Shimin seemed to think of something, sighing lightly and shaking his head. Your Majesty, is there something on your mind? Empress Changsun has always been observing her words and expressions, and immediately realized that Li Shimin was not right. During the court meeting, Xu Wuyou sent an urgent memorial stating that there would be a sudden flood in Chongqing County in 11 days. He suggested that I prepare in advance. Li Shimin spoke. Will there be a sudden flood in 11 days? Empress Changsun was immediately puzzled. How did Xu Wuyou know about it? And it was also accurate to the time. I am also very puzzled. Li Shimin sighed and said, but Li Chunfeng indicates that the weather in Shandong is extremely stable and there are no signs of sudden floods. Li Chunfeng is in charge of the Taisha Bureau and is proficient in astronomy and geography. He has made it clear that there must be no major events happening, so your Majesty doesn't need to worry. Empress Changsun spoke in a warm voice. I hope so. Liuye County Magistrate's room. Xu Wuyou stood before the crime, holding a brush and slowly sketching a pattern. If modern people are here, they will definitely call out directly. Isn't this a pool, Nima? Due to the frequent droughts in Liuye County, Xu Wuyou plans to build a large water tank. In this way, even in the event of drought, people do not need to worry about water sources. Husband, have you finished your work? At this moment, Li Changle walked in carrying tea. Although Xu Wuyou did not officially marry Li Changle, in the latter's heart, Xu Wuyou was already her man. Not yet. Xu Wuyou did not look up, but responded softly. Li Changle saw that Xu Wuyou was so serious, so he carefully put down the tea and his gaze fell on the blueprint on the table. Husband, what is the object you painted? Why can't I see it clearly? This object is called a pool. Xu Wuyou smiled and explained. You naturally can't understand the construction and production of the hometown that inherits oneself. This way. Li Changle nodded suddenly. Immediately, she no longer spoke out to disturb, but quietly accompanied. Master. Suddenly, Master came in. Master Chen, you just arrived. Have you made the cement you ordered earlier? With the current construction technology of the Tang Dynasty, it is not yet possible to perfect the production of water tanks. Therefore, Xu Wuyou imitated modern methods and first made cement before building a water tank. It's done, but the yield? No problem. As a beginner, it's inevitable to guarantee production. Xu Wuyou waved his hand and asked again. Master, is there any movement in the court? No. It's been 3 whole days, it shouldn't be. Xu Wuyou frowned. Sir, perhaps the court has already issued a notice, but has forgotten to notify us. Maybe. Xu Wuyou thought it was also possible, so he ignored it. Let's go. Go take a look at the cement. Also, fix the water tank. 11 days later. Xu Wuyou led the people of Liuye County to dig land and open ponds. Suddenly, Master Chen ran over with a face full of panic. Master, something's wrong. Why are you so panicked? Xu Wuyou frowned as he saw this. Master said, panting heavily. The master's prediction is good. There was a sudden flood in Chongqing County, causing countless people to be displaced and countless drowned. What? Xu Wuyou was momentarily stunned and then became furious. Why is this happening? Didn't I go first and write a letter to warn the court? Didn't I suggest that your majesty prepare in advance? Why is there such a tragic situation? The master hesitated for a moment and said, I don't know, maybe. Maybe the court doesn't believe what the master said. Stupid. Xu Wuyou was furious and threw the hoe aside, walking towards the county in a fit of anger. Upon seeing the situation, Master quickly followed over. Master, what are you doing here? Accuse the current emperor. Chang'an City, Tai Chi Hall. After the sudden flood in Chongqing County, Li Shimin immediately convened a court meeting. Who was the one who made a firm statement before, saying that Chongqing County has stable weather and no floods? Li Shimin looked at the civil and military officials below, his eyes cold. This. The civil and military officials all looked ashamed and lowered their heads. At this moment, Li Shimin looked at Li Chunfeng again. Li Chunfeng, you are in charge of the Taisha Bureau and shoulder the responsibility of observing the weather. Nowadays, there are frequent floods in Chongqing County, and the people are suffering unbearably. What do you have to say? I am guilty. Li Chunfeng quickly knelt down. If it weren't for my miscalculation, today's situation wouldn't have happened. Please surrender, Your Majesty. What's the use of my punishment on you? Li Shimin angrily said, the big mistake has already been made. How can we remedy it for today's plan? Your Majesty. At this moment, Changsun Wuji stood up. The most crucial thing now is how to settle the displaced people, otherwise the overflow of refugees will inevitably lead to riots in various places. Humph. Li Shimin glared at Changsun Wuji and said. Now you know the seriousness of the matter. Do you know what you said 11 days ago? Changsun Wuji's face flushed with shame. At first, he patted his chest to ensure that there would never be a flood in Shandong. On the 11th, a sudden flood occurred in Chongqing County. Your Majesty. Suddenly, Tang Jian stood up again. I have a memorial, which is. Is it Xu Wuyou again? Then you can just say it. Li Shimin waved his hand and said. Tang Jian hesitated for a moment and said with some trepidation. Xu Wuyou sued the emperor, saying that His Majesty believed the slander in his ears and did not take his advice, which would lead to a foolish ruler. Bold and daring. How dare Xu Wuyou insult His Majesty like this? Your Majesty. Xu Wuyou is truly lawless, even a ruler of a country dares to insult. I suggest that this person be beheaded and publicly displayed. To rectify the atmosphere of our Tang Dynasty. Not bad. Wei Chen also supports it.